Welcome back students to Sheba Online Studies. Let's continue. Okay, like last time we have finished standard 8, we have finished prose and grammar, and now I'm going to start with unit 1, poem and little bit of grammar. Okay, so let's start. I'll read the poem first and then I'll explain to you. Right, the name of the poem is Special Hero. A special hero, it means who is the hero here? That is the dad, that is Christina Kershen. That Christina M. Kershen is the poet. She is telling about her love for her dad. Okay, her dad means her father. So, when I was a baby, you would hold me in your arms. I felt the love and tenderness keeping me safe from harm. I would look up into your eyes and all the love I would see. How did I get so lucky? You were the dad chosen for me. There is something special about a father's love. Seems it was sent to me from somewhere, someplace up above. Our love is everlasting. I just wanted you to know that you are my special hero, and I wanted you to tell you so. Okay, so she's just expressing her love for her dad. So it is in very plain English and very understandable English. You can easily understand when you give a reading itself. You can understand how that is. Mostly people say that mothers are very affectionate to dad, that is children. But it is both parents, that is mother and father, are equally dedicated to the child. That is, they show their, sometimes father does not show his love directly, openly he does not show. Mothers, they are very soft hearted, they naturally show their love to their children. But fathers, they have a different type of showing their love, like they give them a lot of gifts. By giving gifts, no, they are expressing their love. Okay, so now Christina is telling, like, I'll explain to you. When I was a baby, she said, when she was a baby, you would hold me, that is his father. Her father would hold her in her arms, and she felt the love and tenderness, that is the affection. She could connect to him. Okay, keeping me safe from harm. What did he do is, he kept her safe from harm. Fathers, that's what they do, they protect the child. Okay, that when we go out, especially girls, when we go out, you don't do this, be very careful, that there'll be like one bodyguard that will be coming with us till we to their school and from back. So like this, they are protecting nature, that is for them. And all the love I would see, how did I get so lucky? She is feeling so lucky that such a father is her father. Okay, such a loving person is her father. So she is feeling very lucky. She is so fortunate, she is saying. Then you were the dad chosen for me. So she was lucky that such a dad God has given her as gift. Then there is something special about father's love. Seems it was sent to me from some place above. So God has sent such a lovely father, such affectionate, such a loving father to her. That is, she is feeling so happy that such a father is for her. Okay, then our love is everlasting. I just wanted to know that you are my special hero, and I wanted to tell you so. So what she's saying is, our love is everlasting. This father and daughter's love is everlasting. It is everlasting means there is no ending to it. There is no end. There is no. It's not going to be lessened. It's going to be greater and greater. Love is going to increase. Okay. Then I just wanted to know that you are my special hero, and I wanted to tell you so. So she is expressing her love to her father. So a very simple poem. Okay. In that poem, actually, see, a poet writes a poem. It has imaginations. Okay, a poem has got a lot of imagination. So they use a lot of figure of speeches. That is like this. I've given some very less figure of speeches mentioned over here, but I'll tell you about what is used here. One of the figure of speech is alliteration. I'll tell you what is alliteration is. Alliteration means repetition of the line. That is, one line will be given to you, and how many times the starting letter of the word is repeated once or twice. So that word is alliterated word. Okay, like for example, I have given on the board, you see, there is something special about a father's love. Now what is the alliterated word over here? See, S is alliterated. S. So two letters are alliterated. So S is answer, you must write as answer. S is alliterated word. So understood? Alliteration means starting letter of the word will be repeated once or not once, twice, thrice, like that. If it is repeated, then it is alliterated. Okay. So the next is we come to rhyming words. How do you pick out the rhyming words? A question will be given. 4 lines will be given to you. You have to pick out the rhyming words. So what are the rhyming words? Here I have given the last 4 lines I have given. Last 4 lines of the poem. Our love is everlasting. I just wanted you to know that you are my special hero and I wanted to tell you so. So what are the rhyming words are given here? See, everlasting does not rhyme with no. No, hero, so. So these 3 words are rhyming. So you must write it in hyphen. Answer is, how will you write the answer? No, hyphen, hero, hyphen, so. So this is how you write the answer. Okay. No, hero, so. So next is, next part is rhyming scheme. What is rhyming scheme? Rhyming scheme is always denoted by small alphabets. A, B, C, D, E, it goes on. Okay. And here also, if the rhyming word is same, repeated means the same alphabet will be repeated. For example, the same thing, same 4 lines I will take. See, the first one, take it as A. Okay. A. The next word is what? No. Lasting and no. Does it rhyme? Does not rhyme. So we take it as B. Okay. Now, no, hero. Does it rhyme? Yes. And again, so it rhymes. So all the other 3s are B, B, B. So A, B, 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 because no, hero, so. So these 3 words are rhyming. So the answer is A, B, B, B. That's the answer. So always remember, you should not write capital letters. The rhyming scheme is denoted by using small letters of the alphabet. Okay, small letters. See the A, B, B, A is the answer. Next, I am going to teach you supplementary, unit 1 supplementary. Name of the lesson is The Woman on Platform number 8. Okay. It is written by Ruskin Bond. Now, who is Ruskin Bond? I'll tell you something about him. Okay. He is actually a Indian writer with from British descent. Okay. He is actually, his family, his parents are, one of his parents is British. He came down to Missouri when he was a very young age, and then he studied here at Missouri school, and then afterwards from here he settled here itself, and then he wrote a lot of stories, short stories about children, and then finally our Indian government gave him, honored him with Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri, and then later because he wrote a lot of stories about children, that is about children and for children. So Sahitya Academy Award was given to him because of such literary works, for his children literary works, okay, regarding children. So he was really honored by our Indian government. Okay, and he wrote such interesting stories. Okay, let me start. Now today's our unit 1 supplementary is about a small child. It is also that is some children, that is his stories are woven around children only, okay, for them, for their interest. All right. Okay, written so many stories. One among them is The Woman on Platform number 8. A very simple story. Okay. Now this story is, how many characters are there? I'll tell you. The characters are Arun. He is a 12-year-old boy, and then one unknown lady he meets at the station, and Satish is Arun's friend, and Satish's mother. So actually what is happening is Arun is studying, weekend he had come here to his house. Now he is going back to the hostel. He is studying in a hostel. So here his parents, they said, let him go alone. So you are a 12-year-old, so you are grown up, so you should travel alone. So what time he is traveling? Midnight. His train is at night, midnight, 12 o'clock is his train from Ambala. Ambala station, is sitting at Ambala station. So from there he has changed trains, and from the train he changed, and from there he has to go to his hostel. Okay, now the time is 11:30, like that, night 11:30, and a boy alone in the station waiting for the train to come. So then anybody, that is, will we ever let our son go like that alone in the station? We won't know, but his situation is like that, like he had to travel alone. So nobody came to send him off in the station also. So he came alone with the suitcase, and he was waiting there at the station. And in the station he saw so many vendors. It was like a hustle and bustle by vendors and fruit vendors selling newspapers and this and that, curd, cool drinks, fruits, snacks or that. So there was such a commotion there. 11:30 in the night, and there was so much commotion in there, so much noise, very noisy the place was. But he was really sitting in this chair of that waiting room, just looking out blankly because his train has still not come. He's waiting there for such a long time, and then finally waiting there. As he was waiting, suddenly one lady, that is clad, a simple looking lady clad in a white sari. She had no jewels, nothing, just a plain or simple lady came and sat next to him. He said, she just inquired, "Are you travelling alone?" she said. He said, "Yes." Has nobody accompanied you? He said, "No, I'm just travelling alone. I am big enough to travel." So, then she accepted, "Yes, of course you are big enough." So she didn't question him like why all that. She just said, "Yes, really? Yeah, okay." Then she sat down beside him, and then she said, "Are you feeling hungry?" Then he said, he didn't say, he was shy to say he's hungry. So she said, she just took his hand and took him by his hand and took him to the nearby canteen. So she bought lot of gulab jamuns, jalebis and all that. Looking at it, his mouth started watering and he started eating it. So hungrily he ate. And then as he is eating, she just watched him eating. Actually, she's a stranger. Some lady, she does not know, but he's gone to have, she's offered him food. So, but actually, does it happen? Do you talk to strangers? It's not correct, no, to talk to strangers. Children of your age, you should not talk to strangers. That's what we keep telling you, isn't it? As elders, we say don't talk to strangers. They may be like this. They may be frauds and thieves. Don't talk to them. They may kidnap children. So that's what we generally advise you, isn't it? So, but here this Arun was so composed and so calm, and looking at that lady also was very gentle, and so calmly she spoke to him. Arun liked the way she spoke to him. So gentle she was, and her dressing also was not so glamorous like that. She was very, very simple looking. So all that he liked very much. That is why when she called him to the canteen, he just followed her. And then meanwhile, as he's eating, he spoke about his school, about his hostel studies, about his headmaster, about all the school activities. He kept on talking to him. He had a light-hearted talk he was having. And then she kept looking at him, admiring him, the way he was talking and speaking. Okay. And then after that, after some time, they both got up and were going towards where he has kept his suitcase there. As they were going to the chair, suddenly she saw one boy ran across the station. That is, instead of going to taking the stairs to the platform, he just jumped across the rails, and very, very close the engine has been shifting. That is, they will change engines, no? So the engine was coming very close, not minding whether the engine is coming or not scared. Also, the boy just jumped over the rails and ran away. During that time, this lady, she was holding on to Arun's hand. She just gripped him because she was so scared looking at that boy running like this. So carelessly running. If she was one few seconds, the engine would have hit him. So such a careless way that boy was running. So Arun, looking at that lady's expression, he was not affected, but the lady was very affected looking at that boy running, dashing towards the other station. To go to the other station, he just plunged into that railing and ran away. So looking at, she just held him. She was holding his hand, no? So gripped him so hard, it started paining. That is, Arun felt her nails went into his flesh. So then she didn't make any expression, nothing. He just looked at that lady, and then the way she was so aghast to see that man running like that, boy running like that. Then afterwards he just turned and said, "Are you all right?" Said she, "No, okay, I'm fine." But they should not have done that. No, that boy ran so carelessly. What if he have got hit like that? So all this Arun was noticing. Such a kind lady she is, no? Like that. And then they sat down as they were talking. Then after some time, Satish came to that place. He also was a schoolmate, and he also studying in the hostel. So same school they're studying. both were hostilites. So he was accompanied by his mother. So Satish and Satish's mother came. Both of them introduced themselves, and as they were introducing, this is Satish said, Satish, this is my mother Arun, and then Satish's mother said, is this your mother? And that lady, without any hesitation, said, yes, I am Arun's mother. So Arun just turned and looked at that lady. So he didn't say anything. He just kept quiet. Like with that, she is not his mother, but she just told, because not to, like he was alone in the station, no, not that is his parents should not get a bad name, so she just accepted, yes, I am his mother. Then afterwards, she and Satish's mother kept on advising Satish, like not to meet strangers, you should avoid, see in the middle of the night, who knows what kind of people are around, so be very careful, all that. She kept on blah blah blah, a lot of lecture she was giving this lady, Satish's mother. But Arun didn't like the way she was talking, Satish's mother, because but what she said is, don't talk to strangers. Strangers are like that, like this, like that. But he turned, just looked at that lady, looked at that white sari lady, that kind lady, and he looked at Satish's mother, and he just gave an answer, one blank answer he gave. I like strangers, he said. Then looking at, hearing that that arrogant answer, Satish's mother said, see how he is talking, see the way that, see nowadays children are like this, like that she said, and she continued advising. But that was being irritating. Arun was getting very irritated with his mother, the Satish's mother. And then afterwards, the train had arrived. Then the train came, Satish and Arun got into the train, and Satish got a place for him, and both of them sat down, and then afterwards she just bade goodbye to both of them. Satish's mother said, be careful, don't eat this, don't eat nonsense, all advice she was giving. And then here his mother, that's what she was wondering, Satish's mother was wondering, why this lady is not advising, not giving anything. She just calmly looking at Arun, that's all. And then the train moved. And then what Arun did, Arun just grabbed that lady and kissed her on the cheek. So that's way he showed her that was small. Unknown lady, somebody came there, gave him food, was talking to him so nicely, like how his mother would be, like that she spoke to him. So that was really one nice feeling about that. Okay, so one unknown lady was so affectionate to him. So till the train crossed that place, the station, he was looking at that lady only. So then finally, this is a small story. That's it. So what do you understand by the story is? But in normal nowadays, we should not talk to, however kind they are, however good the people are, you should not talk to strangers. Okay, this story is giving because he was actually, I think Arun was missing his parents. He was alone in that place and he needed somebody to talk to, and this lady had come. So that was a coincidence. So that's how they met and he expressed his feelings. Okay, so but naturally in real life we see is you should not talk to strangers. Be in a safe side. All right. So this story gives a message and also gives a how you should be. Okay, affection. It's telling more about the affection. Affection wise, if you see, like how in the poem we learnt about father's affection, father's tender love towards the child. Same way, this lady was somebody. Okay, this lady is somebody, but how affectionate she was towards him, isn't it? For a few minutes only, just a few minutes, that 5 to 10 minutes only. In that also, some people are good in this life. Okay, in this world, Lord, not all are very bad. Some are very affectionate, some nice. Strangers also can be believed, that he is saying. So this is a small story. Okay. Now I am going to tell you about grammar, a little bit about grammar, that is parts of speech. The basic of grammar, that is grammar's basic is to know about the parts of speech. How many parts of speech are there? Okay, so that is most important. Based on this only will be further studies about grammar you will study, isn't it? Okay, now first one is parts of speech. You have noun. First basic thing is noun, then verb, adjective, adverb, prepositions, conjunction, interjections and pronoun. Okay, now I'll explain each. What is each? Okay, first one is noun. Noun is, what is a noun? Noun is a name of a person, place or thing. Now name of a person means what? Now that is your name, my name, like that. Names of a person, countries, name of countries, then places, countries, and then thing, it can be a table, chair, fan, light, like that. Name of things. The next you come to verb. What is verb? What is verb? Verb is action word. That is, which are drinking, dancing, writing, all these kind of words which shows action is known as verbs. Some words are also known as static verbs. What is static verbs? That is used in front of the verb. That is, are, was, were. Also verbs. Okay. So not only action, but also that is not this does not show any action. Alright, this does not show an action, but these are known as, see, action, state of action and state. Both are static verbs, also known as is, are, were, was, also are noun verbs. Okay. Next is adjectives. What are adjectives? Adjectives are describing words. Describing words. Okay. Describing words mean what? You are describing something. See, that girl is very beautiful. So beautiful is describing. And then this day is very pleasant. Pleasant is describing the day. And then what else? That boy is very short, dark. So all that kind of words are describing words. Describing something is known as describing words. Okay. So these are adjectives are known as describing words. Now next, adverb. What is adverb? Adverb means modifies the verb. That is telling more about the verb. For example, he ran. Ran is a verb, isn't it? He ran. He ran fast. Adding more to the verb. Ran is the verb, isn't it? Ran, how he ran? He ran fast. So he ran fast. Modifies the verb. That is telling more about, adding more to the verb is known as adverb. Okay. Then we move to prepositions. What is preposition? Prepositions is a place with a noun or a pronoun which in relation to the noun. That is on, in. The dog fell into the river. Into is a preposition. Okay, then the board is hung on the wall. So on, in, on, from, all these kind of words which are used. Without these words you cannot write a sentence. Okay, so preposition. Next is we come into conjunctions. What are conjunction? Two sentences, two separate sentences, subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object, two sentences. When you are joining together, that joining word is known as conjunction. Okay, connectors, also known as connectors, conjunctions are the same. So conjunction means two sentences when you are joining, use a word. That is, for example, and, but, until, still, yet, all these words are connecting words. So they are known as conjunctions. Then finally, the next is interjections. What is interjection? Interjection means expressing feelings like hooray, alas, bravo, like this, wow. Those kind of feelings when you are expressing, we use these this parts of speech is known as interjection. Okay, and finally we come to pronoun. What is pronoun? Pronoun is used instead of a noun. For example, Shanti went to the market. Again we can't say Shanti went to buy vegetables. No. So instead of using the noun again, we use she bought these things. Okay. So she, he, him, her, they, them, us, we. All these are pronouns. So you got this. These are the basic of grammar. If you know this very well, then everything else, that is knowing grammar, as it advances, you will understand it fully. Alright. Okay students, I hope you understood everything. Today I have taken poem, then supplementary and grammar. Go through all the portions, and whatever work is given to you as homework, please do it and submit your work on time. Okay, thank you.